Hey there, theorists! Have you ever binged The Simpsons and thought, wait, did they predict the future? Again? From smartwatches to political upsets, The Simpsons have this uncanny knack for mirroring reality. But as we hurtle towards 2025, a year that feels ripped straight from a sci-fi script, the question arises, are these just random coincidences, or is there something more at play here? Are Matt Groening and his team time travelers in disguise, sending us coded messages through the misadventures of Homer and the gang? Probably not, but that doesn't make their predictions any less intriguing. Join me today as we dive deep into The Simpsons' 2025 prophecies, separating the uncanny coincidences from the downright freaky. This is a digital deception production, and today, we're tackling the future, one donut at a time. From smartwatches to political upsets, The Simpsons have predicted it all. But is their track record really that uncanny, or are we all just seeing what we want to see? This is a digital deception production. Remember that time in season 23 when The Simpsons got those AI butlers? You know, the ones who eventually rebelled against their human overlords? Yeah, that one always felt a little too close to home. But back then, it was just a wacky sitcom plotline, a funny what-if scenario. Fast forward to 2025 and suddenly sentient AI assistants aren't confined to the realm of science fiction anymore. We're living in a world where AI writes our emails, composes our music, and even performs surgeries. So, did Matt Groening have a crystal ball hidden away in the animation studio? Did he foresee the rise of AI dominance? Or is this a classic case of life imitating art? Think about it. The Simpsons have always been a satirical reflection of our society, poking fun at our anxieties and obsessions. Is it that far-fetched to think that they simply tapped into a growing fear of technology, a fear that has only intensified as AI has become more sophisticated? It's like that old saying, we shape our tools, and then our tools shape us. The Simpsons might not have predicted the future, but they certainly captured a cultural anxiety that has become increasingly relevant in the age of AI. And here's the kicker. In 2025, this anxiety isn't just theoretical. We're talking about AI-powered legal systems, autonomous vehicles making life or death decisions, and even the potential for AI to surpass human intelligence altogether. We're on the precipice of a technological revolution, one that could reshape our world in ways we can't even imagine. And whether The Simpsons predicted it or not, the questions they raised about AI's role in our society are more urgent than ever. So, the next time you see an AI assistant that seems a little too smart for its own good, remember that episode of The Simpsons. It might not be a prophecy, but it's a stark reminder that the line between fiction and reality is getting blurrier by the day. Remember when Homer Simpson, the lovable oaf himself, somehow ended up in space? He wasn't an astronaut, an engineer, or even a particularly bright crayon in the box. He was just Homer. And yet there he was, blasting off into the great unknown, all thanks to a private space company. Back then, it was just another hilarious Simpsons escapade. But in 2025, the idea of everyday people taking a casual trip to space isn't so far-fetched anymore. We're living in an era where billionaires are racing to colonize Mars. Space tourism is becoming a ludicrously expensive reality. And the final frontier is looking more and more like a playground for the ultra-wealthy. So, did The Simpsons predict the rise of civilian space travel? Or are they simply reflecting the ambitions of a society captivated by the stars? Here's the thing. The Simpsons often taps into our collective desires, our dreams of a future filled with flying cars and robot maids. And what's more aspirational than space travel? The idea of breaking free from Earth's gravity and exploring the cosmos has captivated humanity for centuries. But here's where things get interesting. While The Simpsons might have captured the allure of space travel, they also hinted at its potential pitfalls. Remember how Homer's trip didn't exactly go according to plan? There were mishaps, mayhem, and a whole lot of duct tape involved, and that's the crux of it. In 2025, as we stand on the cusp of a new space age, we have to ask ourselves, will space travel become a democratized experience, accessible to all? Or will it remain the exclusive domain of the super rich, a playground for the elite while the rest of us remain earthbound? The Simpsons, in their own satirical way, posed this very question. They reminded us that even the most fantastical dreams can have unintended consequences. So as you gaze up at the night sky in 2025, remember Homer's space adventure. It might not be a prophecy, but it's a cautionary tale. A reminder that the future of space exploration is not yet written. Chapter 3. Digital Dollars and Springfield's Cashless Prophecy. Remember that episode where Springfield goes entirely cashless? Where every transaction from buying a crusty burger to paying taxes is done through a centralized digital system? Yeah, that one always seemed a little too real for comfort. Back then it was just another satirical jab at our increasingly digital lives. But in 2025, the idea of a cashless society isn't just a plot device, it's becoming our reality. We're living in a world where cryptocurrencies are challenging the dominance of traditional banks, governments are grappling with the complexities of regulating digital finance, and the very concept of money is being redefined. So did The Simpsons predict the rise of digital currency and the decline of physical cash? Or did they simply tap into a growing societal trend, one that's been accelerating for decades? Think about it, The Simpsons have always been masters of social commentary, holding up a funhouse mirror to our everyday lives. And what's more reflective of our increasingly digital world than the shift towards a cashless society? We're already seeing this play out in real time. Mobile payments are becoming the norm, cryptocurrencies are gaining mainstream acceptance, and even governments are experimenting with their own digital currencies. But here's where it gets really interesting. The Simpsons didn't just predict the rise of digital currency, they also highlighted its potential pitfalls. Remember the chaos that ensued when Springfield's system went haywire? The power outages, the security breaches, the realization that our digital lives are often more vulnerable than we'd like to admit. That's the thing about The Simpsons. They don't just make predictions, they make us think. They force us to confront the potential consequences of our technological advancements, the unintended side effects of our pursuit of progress. So, the next time you use your phone to pay for a coffee or invest in a cryptocurrency, remember that episode of The Simpsons? It might not be a prophecy, but it's a cautionary tale, a reminder that the future of money, much like the future itself, is full of both promise and peril. Chapter 4. From targeted ads to Simpsons nostalgia chips, the future of marketing. Remember that episode where Homer gets bombarded with hyper-personalized ads? The ones that seem to know his every thought, his every desire? Yeah, that one hit a little too close to home, didn't it? In 2025, the line between satire and reality has become blurrier than ever. We live in a world where algorithms track our every online move, where our data is more valuable than oil, and where targeted advertising has become so sophisticated that it can feel downright invasive. So, did The Simpsons predict the rise of hyper-personalized marketing? Or did they simply tap into a growing societal anxiety, a fear that our digital lives are no longer entirely our own? The Simpsons have always been masters of social commentary, using humor to expose the absurdities of our modern world. And what's more absurd than the idea that our every click, like, and share is being monitored, analyzed, and used to manipulate our behavior? We're already living in a world where companies know more about our preferences than our own families. They know what we buy, what we watch, what we read, and even what we say to our friends online. But here's where The Simpsons' prediction takes a particularly dark turn. Remember how Homer becomes so overwhelmed by the constant barrage of personalized ads that he retreats into a virtual reality world? A world where he can escape the relentless marketing and reclaim a semblance of privacy? That's the thing about The Simpsons. They don't just predict the future, they warn us about it. They show us the potential consequences of our unchecked technological advancements, the dark side of our digital utopia. So the next time you see an ad that feels a little too personal, a little too creepy, remember that episode of The Simpsons. It might not be a prophecy, but it's a cautionary tale, a reminder that the future of marketing is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it promises a world of personalized experiences, tailored to our every whim. But on the other hand, it threatens to erode our privacy. to turn us into products to be bought and sold in the digital marketplace. The question is, in 2025, which side of the blade will we choose? So, there you have it, theorists. The Simpsons' predictions, while often eerily accurate, might not be prophecies in the strictest sense. Instead, they're a testament to the show's uncanny ability to hold up a mirror to our society, reflecting our anxieties, our aspirations, and our sometimes absurd relationship with technology. As we venture further into 2025, a year already brimming with technological marvels and societal shifts, one thing's for sure, we'll keep looking back at The Simpsons, searching for clues, for warnings, for a glimpse of what the future holds. But perhaps the real lesson here isn't about predicting the future. Perhaps it's about understanding the present, about recognizing the trends, the anxieties, and the choices that are shaping the world around us. The Simpsons' predictions may feel uncanny, but perhaps it's not prophecy, but a reflection of our tech and societal trajectory. In 2025, one thing's for sure, we'll keep seeing The Simpsons' past as our future.